I forgot how much I miss this place. Morning, sir. Doing great, thanks. My five senses are fully awake right now. Beautiful market. Oh! The cheap plug. How much? 77 a lank? Damn. I need that one. Can I play with it a bit? What's that, Blake? Sorry, but I gotta go. See you later. Alright, end of a great day. Make some money, that's pretty cool. Time to close the shop. Holy shit, what that? That looks like a journal? Or a logbook? Maybe that belongs to that sailor that was here earlier? Where can he be? Yeah, it's a logbook. Our second day at sea started under a steady rain and strong winds. As if the skies understood my sorrow. I didn't mind. The conditions kept me busy. And busy was still the best way to avoid too much thinking. Knowing what you leave behind does not make living any easier. And my instincts were telling me I wouldn't be back for quite a while. Between fine-tuning my sails and organizing my provision for the trip, the time, like the Queen, were flying. I've equipped the boat, bringing all the experience I've had at sea. And it seems like everything is quite functional. I'm starting to store away my vegetables once they're dried and keep wondering why there is not much progress on the potato side. Turns out some of them have even started to rot. I was keeping a heading between south and southwest and was able to reach satisfactory speeds, at least for now. Blake retired to her cabin quite early that evening. The night was beautiful. I was kind of delaying the time to go to bed on purpose. Again, didn't want to be alone with my thoughts. At least here, I felt in control. Yeah, what's that? What's up for lunch? Listen, I cooked a little potato fish chowder last night. You'll tell me what you think about it. Quite happy with the progress of the boat, and now that Mount Malefic is almost not visible in the distance, navigation is gonna take a back seat. We're gonna focus on having a pleasant sailing experience. But holy shit, I went to bed way too late last night. Might need to go for a nap. Yeah, it's not gonna fly. Short nap, just perfect to put me back into the swing of things without ruining my upcoming night, and as well allowing me to stabilize the situation here. The wind has been steady since we left Aestrin, which is great progress-wise, but also means that the sails require a lot of attention. Love it. Love it, although I wouldn't mind getting slightly more favorable wind. Okay, that should work for the night. I slept well that night. Maybe too well. And Blake ended up waking me up as we were stuck in irons. It was really the first test of that nature for this ship's configuration, and I was wondering just how long it would take me to get back underway. Turns out the situation was not that bad. Definitely worth a few more hours of sleep. The end of day 574 also saw my first tack westwards. The wind was just too unfavorable going south, starting to push me eastwards, so I make the jump and decided to tack and move west. Now, this was a very early tack in the journey, and I knew that might expose me to further risks down the road, but hey, definitely worth trying. Something's off. It's too quiet. Damn! Alright, early day maneuver. All good. Since I had been fighting the wind most of the time over the last 5 days, I had actually prepared, especially after taking the risk of tacking westward, and I had given quite some wiggle room to my sails before going to bed, allowing me to get back underway quite swiftly that day. All in all, that still meant that the westward trajectory had held for about 10 hours, and now I was back on as much of southwest position heading as I could, at what I would say decent speed, but far from being amazing, which meant slow progress. But once the sails were all set, I decided to finally get to work and proceed with an inventory of the total number of items that I had on my boat, if only to be sure that my maths were correct, and anticipating some potential higher seas in the coming days, making sure that my weight balance was proper. I landed on 54 barrels and crates on board. I disregarded the small crates of equipment and supplies, and it turned out that Blake had also smuggled a few items on board, bringing the total of crates and barrels to over 60, but I wasn't too mad at her for that. After a week at sea, Blake and I woke up with the first storm in the distance. It was located at our stern, and looking at the wind direction, it was clear that the only thing it could really do is give us a little bit of boost of speed, but it was already at our stern, wasn't going anywhere near our direction, so just settled for a little bit of a bumpy ride, which turned out to be very, very stable, surprisingly enough. Even though the waves were quite high, the wind was quite strong, I even ended fishing, which I think, okay, it was not within the storm, but I think it's the first time I actually pulled my fishing rod during, whenever I had a storm in the horizon. And this served once again as a reminder of how lucky I was to be on board the brig, with a lot of stability, even though we were sailing in what I would start qualifying at difficult conditions. Tacks are becoming more and more numerous. There is less and less time between tacks. The wind is widely swinging from west to south in a fairly unpredictable manner, and in between those change of wind, I have fairly calm seas and very, very little speed. Anywhere between 4 to 6 knots, which is I guess just a concrete example of the impact of having such a conservative heading and sailing that close hauled. But at the end of the day, it's still progress. Is it early enough? Yes. I'm not in iron. That's a win in itself. Awesome. And can I get yes? North Star. I wanna try and see if I've made any progress overnight. Nope. The answer is no. Flipping heck. Our second week at sea brought in a glimpse of hope. The wind was fairly stable, allowing us a good southern heading, or south by southwest rather, and taking my reading at noon actually ended up showing a good position, provided that it was correct obviously. But I was somewhere in the 35th latitude and -2 longitude, which was slightly beyond the 50% mark of the journey, and the wind started to pick up. Steady progress and also quite nice speeds for once, which were kind of making up for the last rough couple of days. As day 578 came to an end, this is when the situation took a turn again. A sudden change of wind put me in a kind of a tricky situation where I needed to decide whether I was gonna keep a southern heading or I was gonna tack westwards. It was quite late. I had a lot of sails down. Decided to just keep heading south for now and see what the situation looks like the next morning. After trimming all my sails in anticipation of the night, I took a last navigation reading before going to bed, and once again it turned out that there has been some significant progress made, as we had just crossed into the 34th latitude. No. No. Fuck. No! What is it, like third day in a row? Third times in 4 days? Whatever, and flipping heck, we're stuck. It's gonna take me a while to get going again. And I can't believe it. The wind is taking such big swings. I mean, arguably I slept through the night, so you never know. Was pushed southwest overnight, which is why it kind of put me in iron. So hopefully getting back to a southern heading should get us underway. Yeah, enjoy your breakfast, Blake. It's cool. I'll eat later. Alright, we have speed. Not amazing speed, but we have forward momentum. I can't believe it. This wind is gonna push me east. I need to make a turn though. Come on. Tack. Not a priority to rebalance my boat, but because I have the feeling I'm gonna do a few tack attempts. Yeah, I'd rather have my boat fairly balanced. Okay, tack westward, a success. Nice, southwest, and we are getting some speed. Okay. Just took about 4 to 5 hours to stabilize the situation, but on the bright side, the water has changed color. Awesome. Never been that close from Gold Rock City. Alright, so 2 hours. I was able to hold the southwest course for about 2 hours, and now the wind is slowly but surely pushing me westwards, but not enough for me to tack again. Yeah, that's not good. I'm going for another tack, going back south. This boat is not made for so many maneuvers in such a short period of time. This journey is changing into a serious regatta here. Come on. Yes. Successful tack. That's what we want to see. I mean, yeah. And just to be clear, the tags themselves are not the issue at hand here, because I do like maneuvering. but I'm losing so much speed when tacking with the brig. And yeah, so when I'm only able to go back to a flipping 6 or 5 plus knot speed, once my tack has been successfully completed, and then I hold that for an hour and then have to tack again. Fuck. I'm blaming my current predicament on my decision to first tack westwards about mid first week of the journey. I think that was way too early. Looking back, it's fairly easy to draw that conclusion, but yeah, I made that turn at about like the 38th latitude, I think. That was way too early. I should have pushed south, even south by southeast. But hey, this is where we are. Let's make the most out of it, shall we? It's about 4:30 p.m. I'm currently heading westwards, as you can see, with the sun straight ahead there. I stopped counting the number of tacks, and at least for now we have speed, so no complaints. Yes! Yes! We're not stuck! Yes! I mean, the situation is not amazing, but we do have speed. So I'm not gonna waste 5 hours to put this beauty back underway, although I need to address the situation right now. I think we're gonna need to go south again. Yeah, or hopefully finally catching a southwest heading. That would be amazing. Come on. I think we got it. Come on. Please tell me I had enough speed. Come on, my queen. Yes. Yes, I think we got it. I think we got it. Nice. Alright. Getting back underway. Yeah, cause that tack stopped us quite nicely. And hopefully that's our southwest channel heading straight to GRC. How cool would that be? We need a stronger wind though. But hey. Blake and I had started to have our little routine, and every evening, once I had set myself up for the night, I would be at the helm and we would have lengthy conversations about Aestrin, about the Emerald Archipelago, and about other things in life. It was refreshing for once not to travel alone, and I very much enjoyed Blake's company. After the chaotic last few days, I had almost forgotten what it means not to wake up in irons. And I was kind of happy to see bigger winds and starting to be able to see that southwest channel that I've been chasing for so long. The revived winds meant that I had to do a lot of sails adjustment. I had been sailing close hold for 10 days now, and having the wind striking my boat from the side was definitely something that I was enjoying very much, and I couldn't wait to see what I could get out of my boat in those seas. That and the feelings that I was getting ever closer from our destination meant that spirits were high as the morning went along. Once the boat was properly stabilized, I was able to focus on the heading and finally open that southwest channel. Blake! Secure all your items in the cabin. It's gonna shake. I had trained exactly for that purpose. How to face a storm in open sea on board such a complex boat. And step one was making sure that lights were on throughout the boat, allowing for good visibility. And then after that I could focus on opening up my sail, trying to get the listing under control. I wasn't too sure yet if we were gonna just skip on the side of the storm, kind of catch its tail, or if we were gonna go at it face on. But regardless, I also decided to reduce some of my sails, mostly my two top jibs, just to limit the number of winches that I would have to reach in case I need to make any adjustment. I'm holding ready as well to lower my mainsail to further decrease how much wind the boat is taking in. but I'm not sure yet if that's going to be necessary. So kind of like preliminary setup, making sure that I'm in good position. So light, sail, and food and water. And then once that's up, Blake was all safe and secure in her cabin. It was time to face the storm. As I had experienced many times before, sailing through the storm had galvanized my spirits. And day 582 opened up with what I would say was very favorable wind conditions, at least compared to what we had experienced in the first part of the trip. And added to that the excitation of being back in Alenk after so many days. It simply felt as an entirely new journey. I was so confident that day that even a lousy navigation reading at noon left me certain that we were on the right path. And looking back, I might have been able to spot oasis on my starboard side, but I just didn't think of checking that direction. I could barely contain my excitement and couldn't stay in bed for very long that night. I woke up very early and made sure that we had made some good progress overnight, fine-tuned my sails and just rehearse the sequence of events that were gonna have to happen today. As often when approaching land, there are a lot on the to-do list. Need to take care of my lighting, need to take care of my balance, need to adjust my equipment, my maps. A lot to do. It is shortly after noon that I realized that we were approaching faster than I expected. Probably more because I overestimated the sheer size of Gold Rock City. I mean, if you compare it to Mount Malefic, it's much smaller. And so I needed to start urgently looking at the different options for the entrance into GRC. Whether we would lay anchor away from the island, because it looked like we were due for a night arrival. Hey Blake, it's 5:30. I think I'm gonna go to bed now. I anticipate that we're gonna reach the rock in late tonight, and I think if I go to bed now, we won't have to lay anchor, and we can get to Gold Rock Port tomorrow morning. Let me get that one straight. Yeah, so I'm gonna light up, confirm my hating, and then I think I'm gonna go to bed. You can go along with your life. I'll wake you up tomorrow whenever it makes sense. Yeah. So I want to make sure that if we get additional speed during the night, I'm not gonna enter into a nasty collision with any of those rocks. But I don't want to go too far beyond either. It feels like I'm close though. Is it gonna fly? Yeah. Hopefully it works out. Ah, 3:30. Where is the door? The other side, fuck. Looks like we're still sailing though. Yes. Ooh. Sandbank. The rock. Ooh. What a perfect timing. South, yes, so the gate should be right there. Nice. Let's put some lights on. Nice. So that should work. Yeah, that's where the mouth of the... That's gonna be what? That's the northern entrance? Yeah. Wow! That was close. Flippy neck. So I'm trying to stay a safe distance away from the sandbank, which I think I'm good right now. I do have favorable wind to go into the Gold Rock City channel. As we can see the wave here. Is that the wave? Never mind. But yes, I think we're starting to see. Yes, so that would be the end of the island here, and the port should be on our port side over there. Ah no, that's gonna be the no. That's gonna be the right pillar of the entrance of the channel. Okay, all right. Should still look good though. I mean, after over 500 days away, I hope Blake can understand that, I'm I'm struggling with some of my memories of space, especially because I was a very young sailor. But look at that, the sun is rising. Oh, nice. Blake, come over here on deck. Check this out. It's amazing. Wow. What an entrance. Almost there. Yes. What's that? How do I feel about the docking? Shouldn't be a problem. I feel pretty good right now. Can't believe this is the first time I need my squares since we left the Aestrin Seas. And it's just a few miles away from the dock. Unbelievable. Am I second guessing myself? Yep, indeed. Might have been better to come in from the other side. It's gonna be a tight corner. Yeah. Going in with the squares. What's that, Blake? How is this gonna work? Well, I probably gonna take a swim, jump here and there, but we should be fine. The wind is pushing me away from the dock. Great. So the new plan is we're gonna try to get close from that entrance gate of the shipyard, because clearly I cannot get to the dock. Yeah, let's not talk about this too much. But I think it should work without damaging the hull, which after all, is the essential. And it worked as expected. Took some time, but it did work. What a flipping sight. And check this out, how big the brig is. Flipping heck. Love it. Yo, Blake. You coming? You ready? Yeah, I'd very much like to stop by the market on our way to the castle, to the palace. Yeah. Alright, sweet. Let's go.